Good morning, fellas. Good morning, everybody. I have something that I'm very excited to reveal today, okay? It's a little scuffed, but I'm quite happy with it. Here we are. Here is the dual shiny hunting setup. I'm going to be shiny hunting on my main account, Patrouski at Onyx in Larvitar, and then I'm also going to be at Trubbish/Minccino on the alt account. So we're at ×3 hordes on one account, ×5 on the other. It's honestly going to be more difficult to maintain the alt. I'm gonna have to get used to the muscle memory. I haven't practiced much before stream, but I've been wanting to do something like this for an extremely long time. If you can shiny hunt on 2 accounts at once on 2 different devices, which is the legal way to do it, then you just dramatically, you double your chance for a shiny, which is interesting content, exciting, a ton of fun, as well as just upping the chance for stream clips, upping the chance for my own personal grinds, my own personal journeys. I do actually want to purposefully get them off track from each other, so I'm not having to like do the same. You don't want to have to switch them at the same time. That honestly gets kind of confusing. You want it to be a little back and forth, if that makes sense. I'm gonna have to be running from a PC back to the location. Actually, the wrong PC marked on that spot as well, so that'll be interesting. There's a lot of stuff to learn here, a lot of things to figure out, a lot of things to smooth over. And I also have chat on a different. This is my first time. I'm 26 years old, and this is my first time ever having a multi-monitor setup, so I'm really excited for that. So there's a lot of big changes coming with me being at a new place, with PokeMMO coming up with a massive event. There's a lot of cool things to come, and I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys are as well. Okay, people are asking about the setup. To give you an idea, here's the main screen. Here's the monitor with chat. There's the laptop. There's the TV displaying the other account for shunting. So I have 4, I'm full zoomer. I have 4 screens surrounding me. Like I'm caged in, dude. Locked in by technology. Just how we want it. Do particles slow down shunting? That's a really good question. That was actually theorized and talked about for a while because the answer wasn't known. Like even like 2 years ago or whatever, we didn't know the answer to that. No, from my understanding, particles like the Kanto Friends particle on my Wigglytuff, for example, do not actually slow down the amount of encounters. It's a really good question though. Why are hidden ability Excadrill so expensive? Great question. So hidden ability Excadrill is a really good Pokemon in PvP because it has a Mold Breaker and Stealth Rocks, so it can actually set up Stealth Rocks through Magic Bounce Pokemon like Espeon or Xatu. And there's so few of them because they were only gotten and only brought into the game via the Lunar New Year event. So there's not many in the game. They were only brought into the game via events, and now they're like super demanded and super good in PvP. So that is why hidden ability Excadrills are super expensive. Any issues with the new TOS? From my understanding, I actually looked on the forums, which is really cool. Apparently, there weren't even any changes. Apparently, there were actually 0 changes to the new EULA/TOS in PokeMMO. It was literally just a every few months they have to, or every like, it was just put on the forums. Every like, essentially period of time, they just have to have people re-accept it. I don't, maybe there was a small change, but from the way it sounded on the forum post from a staff member, it seemed like there wasn't actually any changes and it was just a re-acceptance sort of situation. Something I'm so curious about is tracking the amount of encounters per hour I can get. I mean, mathematically, it should just be slightly less efficient rates. I'm obviously taking some time to go back and forth. There's some human error. I probably, if I had to guess, I'm probably getting around 15 to 1600 encounters per hour, which is probably, I'm trying to, maybe it might be more. I kind of want to test. We set an hour-long timer or something and get a real physical representation. Lures do nothing in terms of roaming legendaries, right? Question mark? No. So, well, they don't increase the odds. What lures do is they increase the amount of encounters you get per hour. So if you get more encounters per hour, it's going to speed up the time it takes to get a legendary, the time it takes to do anything, right? So that's why lures are so good. They should almost always be used whenever you're single encountering for anything, just because of that 10% increased encounters alongside like the swarm ability. You get like a 10% on top of 10%, right? Wait, that's a huge point as well. Yes, Gamba will now cover both accounts. So for those who don't know, I run a Twitch like gamble or gamba every day where you basically just bet these fake points. You bet your Twitch points on whether or not I'll see a shiny today. And the believers, the people who do think I'll get a shiny, you guys just doubled your odds. You have a fighting chance now, because for so long, like, it was so hard to be a believer because I barely ever get shinies, right? So it is amazing that, yeah, now believers actually just got a huge buff. There was just a huge buff on the patch notes for believers. I do like questions like this. So someone said, hey Pat, old player returning here. What's the best way to shunt Caterpie? Is it single encountering in Viridian Forest? Definitely not. If I were you, the way that I recommend shunting most Pokemon is I would go shunt for Metapod. It's a ×5 horde over in Pattern Bush, I believe. You go for a Metapod and then you breed it down. It's going to cost you a bit of Pokeyen, but like, we can actually run the math, right? So let's say you go hunt for a Metapod. On average, you're going to have to get 2 Shinies there to get it because it's like 50-50, right? So it's going to cost you 6 mil in Leppas. And then it's also going to cost you, like let's say 2 mil to breed it down. So it's going to cost you like 8 mil for this shiny Caterpie, right? Sorry, 8 mil total, not 14. So 8 mil total, let's say. But but that's also, it's also going to take like 60 hours. So doing it by that method, by going for Metapod, is 60 hours, 8 mil Pokeyen, right? Keep that in mind. Now, we can also divide the 8 mil by 300k Pokeyen, which is like the average Pokeyen you should make per hour. So 26 plus 60. So a shiny Caterpie, you're going to take like 90 hours, let's say, right? If you were to go single encounter in Viridian, it's going to take you 100 hours on average per one encounter. And there's a really good chance you don't get Caterpie there. I don't know what the rate is. I don't know if it's 50. Let's even be generous and say it's 50-50. Even if it's 50-50, it becomes a 200-hour grind to single encounter for Caterpie there versus 90 for the Metapod, which is like guaranteed, right? So doing things like that, going to ×5 horde spots, hunting there, and then just breeding down is so much more efficient most of the time. Can we just appreciate, by the way, no internet issues so far, and my internet at my new place is so much better, so hopefully we'll have a stable connection finally, and hopefully internet issues will stop. There's a lot of positive things that I'm super excited for at this new place. Get a capture card instead of a monitor on webcam. I would like to at some point. That is definitely on the game plan. All right, I have our starting numbers. Cool Duder is starting at 10,100 encounters, and Patrouski is starting at 14,260. I'm gonna go ahead and set a 1-hour timer on my phone. I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible, and I will see you guys with the results in 1 hour. It's crazy, since becoming a regular here, I've started noticing community members like Abenbag and Queen Maisie just at locations I'm at. Dude, PokeMMO is like, it's beautiful because it is a big enough game, but also still a small enough game to where, like, yeah, you'll see people, like, you'll see usernames in my chat, and then you'll also just run across those same shunters and grinders in game sometimes. I notice it all the time. Or on the forums. That's a big one as well, where you'll end up just seeing people you know on the forums, talking, chatting, etc. I think it's really cool to be able to like notice people all around. It's one of those things where it's like the game is still big enough, but it's still small enough, if that makes sense, to be able to have that interaction, which I think is really cute. One of my favorite parts of my old team was we had a home channel, so we would see each other much more often. Yes. Growing up playing PokeMMO back in like 2013, every player had a home channel. Every player had a home channel. Every team had a home channel. My home channel, for example, was 3. You found me a lot. I was always hanging out at Celadon City Channel 3 back in 2013 or whatever. And back then, every team had a headquarters as well. So for example, it would be, I think ours at one point for EBH, which was 8-Bit Heroes, which was the team that I co-led. At one point, I think ours was like Island 5, upstairs PC, Island 5, Channel 3, something like that. Like very specific locations. A lot of people would try to take over Silphco. Some people would try to take over like certain dungeons locations. Like it was really cool to see like teams gather at a big location and see that physically, run across that randomly as a player in game. Haha, I doubt it. I log on, I check the GTL, I log out again, check W. There's fuck all happening at the moment. I love some British themed avatar items like flat. Okay, I disagree with you on the British themed avatar items, but dude, I honestly, I'm a big optimist. I'm a big defender of PokeMMO. When people say, "Oh yeah, like the game's kind of dry right now. There's not really much happening," they're not wrong. Like this is the quiet period of PokeMMO, and that's how it's always been. Like after event season, players with their break. I think it's totally fair, totally fine. Totally good to acknowledge. Yeah, there's not really any updates happening right now. Now there's big stuff brewing, and there is big stuff on the horizon, and I think the players that are playing right now will get rewarded the most, because if you prep right now, if you spend Pokeyen to make raid Pokemon, make like Mons, like I've been saying for a few months now, Pokemon are cheaper than ever. Buying good IV Mons are cheaper than ever. So if you're one of those players that's playing right now, you're gonna get aggressively rewarded once raids come out, once the anniversary event maybe comes out, you know. Dead times are the best times to capitalize on big market stuff, but But it's also the hardest for people to be motivated to play for that exact reason. So it makes a ton of sense. It is a quiet period for Pokemon. There's not really any exciting. There's not a whole lot of exciting, even with stream recaps. There's not a whole lot of crazy exciting stuff to talk about, and that's okay. I try to just keep that in mind, and I try to be real about that, and realistic, and tell people, you know what, like PokeMMO isn't that exciting right now, but you know what? At least I can do a double shiny hunting setup, and you know, try to make certain things exciting for certain people, and I try my best to hype up PokeMMO even during these quiet periods, and do exciting things, and always push the envelope, and be expanding and innovating. So hopefully you guys see that. Hopefully I can continue to work hard on that and do that. And hopefully we'll see fucking raids. Hopefully we'll see raids and maybe an anniversary event this year around the corner in June or July. Why did Ludwig play Pokerogue but not PokeMMO when Rogue is also prone to being taken down by Nintendo? I mean, I can give you the real, I can give you the realest answer. The reason why a lot of content creators probably don't play PokeMMO is because it's kind of boring to them, right? It's a lot of grinding. Like most of their viewers don't want to watch like grind. Like look at me, like I'm literally just doing encounters on 2 screens. Like your average person doesn't enjoy shiny hunting. The average person does not enjoy grinding. The reason why big Pokemon content creators will play Pokerogue, number one is, yeah, it's popping off and it's doing well viewership wise, but it's also just a really fun and exciting game. Pokerogue is grinding, but it's also almost always exciting at every second, because you could always lose, and like there's always like the second, like it's always like battle decisions, and like people like battling a lot more and find that a lot more exciting than just doing the encounters. I love shiny hunting, but I acknowledge not everybody does, and I probably acknowledge most people don't, you know? Yeah, Pokerogue gets right into the action. I super agree. Yeah, I mean, I think it totally makes sense. Like, obviously I love PokeMMO to death, but it totally makes sense why content creators would prefer Pokerogue over PokeMMO, for sure. Smooge, fellow PokeMMO content creator, I had an idea for a community-funded egg shunt, and then at the end of the hunt, the shiny is given randomly to someone who helped. That is man, like, the problem is, it's such a cool idea. It's a very, very cool idea. The only problem comes down with the amount of, like, even if someone sent me or let's say someone sent me like 120 million Pokeyen and said, hey, breed like me an egg shiny, right? The problem is I still have to spend the like 2,000 hours like getting the Ditto boxes, hatching the eggs. The eggs alone would be hundreds and hundreds of hours. God, it's such a cool idea. Maybe like passively, I mean, that could kind of be like breeding extravaganza or something. There's a cool passive idea there, but honestly, with the unfortunate thing is with my current stuff, I honestly probably can't engage with that, but I would super encourage someone like Smooge or some other content creator to do that. I honestly don't know if I, unfortunately, have the time and energy to put like thousands of hours into a communal shunt right now. The idea of a communal shunt in general is super fucking cool, though. I do super love that. I love the idea of just shunting as a community. I've thought this forever, but just gathering everybody, like 30 people in one spot, and seeing if we can get one shiny an hour, see if we can get that average. That'd be super, super sick to see. It's a cool idea. I'm sorry that I can't capitalize on it right now, honestly. That's actually a really, really good point, developer. So we're talking about how, like, apparently Ditto boxes are, like, more apparent than ever. There's way more Ditto box sellers than there ever has been, which is amazing to see, because when there's more Ditto box sellers, it's literally, like, it's better for shiny hunters, because now they can get access to more boxes. We get more rare shinies in the game, and more rare shunts are able to be done. And it's also better for the Ditto box sellers, so they can make more money, you know, sell to more egg shunters, right? So, like, it's literally just a win-win-win. Like, it's good for the intermediate players / beginners who are hunting the Dittos. Even veteran players hunt Dittos. And it's also good for the hardcore shunters who are going for those egg hunts. But someone said, I wonder if Johto Legends upped the amount of Ditto boxes being sold, and it makes total sense, because you can, at one of the best spots to hunt for the Johto Legends is at that one like Miltank spot. What's the route? But there's like a really decent spawn for Ditto there, so a lot of people just straight up hunt Ditto at this spawn in Johto. Where's it at? Is it Route 30? It's Route 47. Route 47, you can go for like Miltank single encounter. There's Ditto there. I think there's also like Chansey or something if you lure. So it's a really good spot to hunt for legends, as well as people just catch Dittos there and make profit. So it makes, like, while people are going for legendaries in Johto and kind of shiny hunting, they also can make profit selling Ditto boxes. That's honestly really, really sick to see. Wait, you're actually a genius, Abenbag. Abenbag sent me a shiny charm and said, hey, Pop, you can invite Cool Duder. I just realized, if I'm shunting on 2 accounts, I can invite them both. Yeah, I can invite them both to the same shiny charm and get a boost on 2 accounts. That's amazing. I didn't even think about that. That is actually amazingly sick. It is actually a good thing to talk about for a clip because I'm sure I'll get this question a lot and probably a lot of comments. And I'll probably try to redirect them to this clip. So people ask, hey, isn't it against the TOS to shiny hunt like this? I'm shiny hunting on 2 accounts at once, right? So the TOS states that you can't play PokeMMO more than 1 account on 1 device at one time, right? So what that means is you in the game physically won't let you, right? So like if you try to load up 2 instances of PokeMMO, it'll just close your other client. So if you try to get around that by like virtual machines or some shit, that gets you banned as well, because obviously they know you're specifically trying to do something to get around a physical implementation of the game, right? Now, the reason that rule is even in place in the first place is to stop bot farms. You have to understand like why are rules made? Why is that, murder is bad because we don't like to take over other people's autonomy. That seems like a pretty bad thing to do. We wouldn't want to be murdered, that sort of thing, right? Multi-boxing is bad because it enables bot farming, and that's a huge reason why bots aren't an issue in PokeMMO, aren't as much of an issue as they could be. It's my timer. Give me 1 sec. I'll stop doing encounters there. Bots in any free-to-play MMO ever have always been a massive issue, but in PokeMMO they're drastically halted because of people not being able to bot farm. Why would you bot farm in PokeMMO when you could only you need like 10 laptops to bot on 10 different characters, when you could go load up old school RuneScape and bot 20 characters on 1 device pretty easily? And if you have 10 laptops, now you're doing like 200 bots, right? It's pretty like there's no real incentive for people to bot PokeMMO for profit. There's a ton of things like that. So I'm playing on 2 different devices. So I have my desktop, which I'm hunting on the main screen, and then I have my laptop, which I'm hunting on, which is HDMI to a TV. So I have a laptop here to the side. You can't really see. And then I have an HDMI cord to this TV. So I'm HDMI. So I'm hunting on 1 character on my desktop, and then 1 character on my TV. So that, hopefully that clears up. Now, you can play, I always get these questions, you can play like multiple accounts or characters on 1 device, just not at the same time. So let's say that I have like 6 Pokemon characters that I can like log out of Patrouski, log over to Cool Duder stuff. That's fine. You just can't play 2 characters on 1 device at the same time. Hopefully that summarizes everything or touches every topic, because I get a lot of questions on that. It's good to really clear everything up. Okay, that is the end of the hour test. So on Patrouski, we ended up with 15,455 encounters. Started with 14,260, so like 1,200 encounters on Patrouski while shunting on 2 accounts. So that's less efficiency. That's crazy. And then on Cool Duder, we ended up with 11,120. Okay, so I got like 2,300 encounters that hour. Let's do the math. So 11,120 minus 10,100. This is Cool Duder. This is this account, the side account, this account. 1,020 encounters. Patrouski was 15,455 minus 14,260. So even shunting on 2 accounts at once, so it's less efficient to some extent, I'm getting 2,215 encounters per hour. That's awesome. That is so fucking exciting. That's amazing. I can't wait to do long streams where I can literally, it's feasible now for me to do like a streaming until I get a shiny. Will I ever do that? Kind of risky, kind of unlikely, but it's an option. It's possible. This is not PokeMMO related, but I actually love talking about this. Dude, one of the coolest advancements and one of the most glaring signs of technological advancements in humans is televisions. Dude, 10-20 years ago, a 60-inch flat screen television cost you like $2-3 grand. Nowadays, you can pick up a 60-inch flat screen television for like $200, like maybe $200 to $400. Like the price difference in the advancement and all that shit about tech. Oh my goodness! Like, yeah, like plasma TVs would be a thing, dude. All the advancements in flat screen TVs are probably one of the most glaring signs, price-wise, tech advancements. It is one of the most insane representations of human advancement. I think it's really cute. I think it's cool to see, man. Okay, this is actually a based as fuck take. What pisses me off the most in the game is you can't organize your bag how you want to. Yes, unironically, once you like reach endgame and you have so many items in your bag, 1,100,000%. Now, thankfully, you can at least like search in your bag. Obviously, that's nice, but like, let me show you guys really quick. For example, the lack of control you have in your bag. Like if I open my bag, I see adventure items, all my ocarinas. But then look, even all of my ocarinas aren't next to each other, right? Here's 3 ocarinas, and then it's like alphabetized, right? And you can't control that. Why would not all my ocarinas be in one spot? Now, thankfully, I can look up ocarinas and do that. That's cool. However, look at vanities. Vanities alphabetized, but also sorted by rarity for some reason, seemingly. Well, no, they're actually just alphabetized. Also, if I want to look up bunny, for example, look at all this bunny stuff I have. Bunny ears? Are these all bunny tails? Do I have any other bunny stuff in here? Do I have to sort through all of this to check? Like, why aren't all of these just stacked on one? Like, I hate that vanities don't stack. That's a huge one. I really, really wish. Huge quality of life change. Dear PokeMMO devs, please make vanity stack in some way. If that would be possible, that would be a huge quality. Because there's so many things like that where they just pile up, and my inventory is just super big. Being able to have more customization over organizing your bag would be super cool to see. What do you consider mid-game? This is a great question. Mid-game is someone I would consider to have all regions done for sure. That's like beginner game in my opinion. Mid-game is probably someone who has all regions done, has done some endgame PVM, so like maybe Elite 4 reruns, maybe Red refight, maybe the Hoa refight, stuff like that. Maybe have anywhere between like 5 to 10 shinies. That's mid-game to me. Around 10 million Pokeyen. Around 10 million Pokeyen or more. Mid-game is also someone who is either just beginning to or has already made a small amount of investments. Once you reach a larger amount of investments, you reach endgame. But like, I think a small amount of investments to like, if you've invested in like 1 or 2 events, you're probably at mid-game. Mid-game is definitely someone who has multiple catching Pokemon, has a gym rerun team with the double Blastoise, or even something more advanced. And then in terms of hours played could be all over the place. Probably over 1,000 hours at mid-game. Maybe 6 to 800 plus. I'd say 6 to 800 plus. Yeah, it's like mid-game. There's a lot of qualifiers. Obviously, it's a very fluid answer / definition. It could totally depend per person. I love the idea of doing, I've thought about this. We do shiny ratings and we do fashion contests. I love the idea of doing an account rating where I overlook someone's entire PokeMMO account, all their shinies, a lot of the Pokemon that they try to do a rough overview, all of the Pokemon they own, hours played, like gym badges. I think that'd be super interesting. I like rating someone's account. That could be a Patreon thing, like rating someone's account, because it requires so much time to really go through everything. They would like show me on Discord video, right? Rating someone's entire account and then giving them suggestions on where to go forward with it or what progress to make. I think that'd be super interesting. I've been toying with that idea for a while. Here's another good talking point. Someone says, hey, I'm gonna start shiny hunting, going for the ×5 Magikarp. Any advice you could give me? I'm gonna be super honest. If you want to go for shiny Magikarp, if you ever plan to go for Dratini / Dragonair / Dragonite, I honestly wouldn't go for Magikarp at Sootopolis, because so a lot of beginners want to go shiny hunt Magikarp, and it used to be a really good beginner shiny hunt. The problem is you have to think about long-term macro shunting, which sounds so nerdy, and it is. And maybe you don't care about it, maybe you do. Just, you know, take the advice if it applies to you, take it if don't take it if it doesn't, right? To go for shiny Dratini, on average, you are gonna get 4 shiny Magikarps on the way to Dratini. So I would hardcore recommend, until you have the Pokeyen for the Lepa Berries, if you ever want to go for Dratini, I just wouldn't go for Magikarp at Sootopolis. I would just get them along the way to your Dratini hunt, right? Same with like Onix here at Larvitar, right? Like, you're on average, I'm going to get 4 Onixes on the way to 1 Larvitar. So I would never go like ×5 Horde like Onix at some other spot, right? Even if it's free, it doesn't cost Lepas, because on the way to Larvitar, if I ever want that, I'm going to have to go for, I'm going to get some Inevitable, right? I think thinking about long-term macros, stuff like that is really important. In terms of general beginner shiny hunting advice, try not to stare at your encounter counter. Just let the time pass. Just let it enjoy the journey. Let it as an action. Watch background content. Don't let shiny hunting be your main thing. Shiny hunting is a side activity. You want to shiny hunt and you want to watch anime. You want to watch a TV show. You know, watch a movie. Hang out with friends. Shiny hunting is very like RuneScape, where it's very much a background activity. If you're just sitting staring at your screen shiny hunting, you're gonna have a bad time. But if you are a multitasker person, you might love shunting. It's a multitasking activity where, you know, you do something else and you shine on the side. I really enjoy that personally. It's not gonna be for everybody, but I really can't encourage enough multitasking while shunting. You can shiny hunt on 2 accounts, you know, just as a crazy example, you know, like I am, right? All right, let's run the math. If I shiny hunt times 5 hordes, let's say that I stream 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, right? So let's do 4 hours of shunting is around 2,200. Let's say 2,000 encounters per hour. Let's play it. I like to play it safe, right? So let's say 2,000. So 2,000 times 4. Am I really getting 8,000 encounters a day? Holy shit! If I shiny on 2 accounts a day, 4 hours a day, so ridiculous. And then we take that number, we times that by 4. I could potentially be getting 1 shiny a week average with this double shiny setup. Can you fathom a Patrouski stream where you get more than 1 shiny every 6 months? This might actually be too exciting. This level of content is just going to be too exhilarating. People are going to have to take a break and stop watching because it's going to be too eye-opening for these viewers. I really appreciate it, guys. Okay, I don't always do this, but Novenger wants me to rate his shiny Medicham, and I haven't done a shiny rating in a while, so I'll give you guys an idea of what I look for. So, first things first, shiny Medicham is it a times 5 horde encounter? What is this? You got it at Mount Pyre. I'm gonna give you a harsh rating. I'm gonna give you the rating that I would give, during a shiny rating, which is harsh. Mount Pyre. Single encounter. No, it's a horde. Okay, so it is a times 5 horde, I assume. Let's double check. Times 5 horde shiny. Wild caught. Lonely nature. Usable. And then the IVs. 31 attack. 29 speed. Low special defense, but like these IVs are pretty sick. This is a competitive ready wild caught shiny, which is pretty fucking sick. If I were to, like, which it's super cool to see. You don't see it very often, but if I were to give you an honest rating, what I would give you during a shiny rating would probably be times 5 hordes are a base 2 out of 10, and then you adjust for any extra qualities. So I would adjust for the champion ribbon. Sure, that's kind of cute. I would adjust for the ribbon. I would adjust for the stats and it being wild caught and the nature. I would probably end up giving this a 3.4 out of 10, which is on like not a bad score. Like I know it sounds very low, but my scale is just very skewed in a certain way. It's a great shiny. Congratulations, Novenger. Okay, you know what? To be totally honest, this is probably a perfect spot to just go ahead and call today's stream. A really short 2.5 hour stream today. It's an extra stream. It's a Friday stream, so I wasn't able to stream much this weekend. I really wanted to just test out this setup, test out the strategy. Obviously, I know a capture card would be better for this, but I wanted to test it. It's what I can do right now. It's what I have, so I wanted to see how it would look and how it works. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like the video if you always did enjoy it, as always. Dislike if not. That's totally okay. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. I stream 4 times a week on Twitch, generally Monday through Thursday, starting at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that, and if you want to go above and beyond and support my channel, if it's been helpful enough to you in your PokeMMO journey or been entertaining background content while you grind. YouTube memberships, Twitch primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations do help out a ton. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. I will see you all later. Peace, Reno.